The Invader 1. What's up guys, Invader 1 here again, and I'm back this time with some really cool Lancer gameplay. Some of you guys have been asking about the Lancer, and I know on the video showing my max manifest, I kind of put some suggestions as to what weapons you guys want to see me use, and kind of talk about a little bit of a review on those guns and how they kind of work, and what are the best kits or builds, or what are the best ways to kind of work with them. And just recently the Venom Shotgun got a lot of hits, so that's why I was showing a lot of Venom Shotgun gameplay. You saw the Venom Shotgun duo with Max Damian. He's just really great with the Venom Shotgun. He had actually taken out time to show the BSN community, the Mass Effect 3 community, how to use it. And I wanted to kind of work with him on it, and that was really great. You saw also some more Venom Shotgun gameplay on previous videos. So the next one up was the Lancer, and I gotta tell you guys, there's been a lot of love and hate for this gun. It's kind of like a situation where some people love this gun, some people don't like it, some people think it's a little too weak, some people think it's a little too lame. So I'll tell you my thoughts on it, and before I even go into that, just to let you guys know, this is actually a pug game. I'm gonna be doing a few games like this randomly, where I'm still doing the challenge videos where I'm playing with a team that I know, because I need everybody to have the same kit, you know, for those, for example, Rebellion and Earth, you know, those challenges. I need everyone to use the same thing, and etc. So we will have more of those videos coming up, and they will be more focused on those the challenge manners. But in this gameplay, I said, you know what? Let me take the Lancer into a pug game, because sometimes it's pretty cool to show the kind of gameplay you can do in a game with people that you don't know, that not everybody's communicating, etc., and how it would kind of handle itself in a situation like that. So this is a pug gold game. I don't know anybody here. Everybody seemed pretty cool. They brought some interesting kits. Everybody seemed to be playing quite well, except there were a few moments there, like I think on wave 8 or wave 9. I mean, I was dead. I got killed by a turret, and I think they destroyed the turret, and I just didn't want to revive me. So I don't know what happened there, but pretty much when I used the meta-gel, and the entire team was just there looking at me, and I'm just like, what is that about? It's kind of hilarious. But I don't know, I guess maybe there was an Atlas around the way, so maybe they just wanted to take care of that first before letting me bleed out. But you know, it happens. This is what happens when you play a pug game, people you don't know and stuff like that, and that's fine. I play a lot of pug games throughout the week, and I do it to kind of meet new people and keep my skill going, etc. Meaning my skill in the sense of playing with people who we're not communicating with at all. And even on the regular games that I post, for example, the Platinum games, although we communicate, it's mostly communication in the sense of where the enemy spawns are at, or you know, kind of like calling out any phantoms and stuff like that. But that's pretty much it, because a lot of these guys, they're just their skill level is so great that, you know, pretty much everyone can handle their own. And at the same time, when it comes to Platinum and even Gold, you don't want to be clustered together all at the same time. So when it comes to communication, sometimes we'll tell each other where we're at or what's happening. And a situation like this in a pug game, you have to depend on your skill. You can depend on your team to a certain extent. It's kind of good to be somewhat mid-range from the team to be able to get revived if that happens. My situation, I kind of run around a little bit, just kind of going around, because I wanted to show the Lancer at work, and really show how great it is. I think the Lancer is a really good gun. I don't think it's a great gun. So I'm not gonna kind of sugarcoat it and tell you, oh, it's the best gun in the world, it's great. No, it's an okay gun, but it's great for certain things. Okay, so let me be clear about that because you know, there are guns in this game that are very, very powerful. This is not a very, very powerful gun, but it serves a purpose, and it's really good for certain things. For example, this gun is really good for casters, and that's why I decided to play the Human Sentinel, do some biotic explosions, you know, some biotic boom booms, and at the same time, kind of show off some of the Lancer gameplay. And what's great about Lancer is that it's a very, very light assault rifle. It has decent damage, and it's a never-ending ammo clip, so it just doesn't. Well, what I'm saying, it refills itself. So in other words, once you get to one round in the gun, then you just let it reset itself, and you're back up. You don't have to go to any ammo box. So although that is great, it's not like the particle rifle. The particle rifle is much more powerful than this gun. It's kind of like the same thing in the sense that it refuels itself. It can overheat, you know. I very rarely overheat in this gameplay. I think it only happened about twice, but it does overheat, kind of like the way the particle rifle does, and you gotta let it refill itself or recharge. Now, the reason I said this gun is good for certain things, it's really good for caster classes. If you're going to use them on soldiers, that is fine. You get bonuses for being a soldier and other classes as well. But the best way to really use this gun, I believe, I mean, just in my opinion, is for using it on casters. And that's like adepts, sentinels, even vanguards. So when you're using a vanguard and you're relying on your powers mostly, but there are moments, let's say for example you're playing against the collectors and they take away your powers. You get hit by a freaking collector bees ball, and all of a sudden you don't have any powers. You need to depend on your gun. This is a decent gun that you could take down on gold, and at least on platinum you're able to take down a little bit of health and a little bit of shields and armor from the enemy. So it actually works quite well for that, for those kind of situations. So if I were to recommend this gun, I would recommend to use it on caster classes. I would say one of the best characters to really use it on would be the Human Sentinel. The Human Sentinel has warp and also overload, where you can strip shields on the enemies and use this gun and use ammo types like incendiary to do fire explosions, which is what I'm doing here. I actually have incendiary rounds 2 on it, and I really enjoy the gun for what it is, but there's certain flaws that this gun has. Okay, number one, it is not too powerful. It doesn't really the damage bar is not too high, but it's decent enough. Like for example, this is a gold game, and it is really good. It's decent enough that you can really take down enemies, and as you can see here, I really focus a lot on headshots to make sure that I get as much damage as I can. I'm also using warp. The way I have warp set up on this character, I have it set up to do kind of like a debuff situation, so it really helps out. That's why I definitely recommend this on casters. The thing is that some of the draws of this gun is that, like I said, it doesn't have a lot of damage. So you really have to pay attention to your ammo to see when you need to refill, because you're going to be there for quite a while trying to kill certain enemies, especially armor targets. That's why for armor targets, if you see here, I actually do quite well in this gameplay with armor targets, but that's because I'm doing biotic explosions mixed in with the gun. So I'm mixed in with shooting, and that's the good thing. That's the reason why this is great for casters, because in between your casts, in between your biotic explosions, well, you can go right ahead and shoot, and you still take down damage, and still do some damage, take down some armor, take down some health, and it kind of quite works well that way. If you're going to use it, let's say soldiers, you will get some bonuses there. Soldiers have much better weapon damage bonuses. Soldiers have quite a few other things that go for them. And that works out good. I mean, you can use it on the destroyer, you can use it in human soldier, and that's great. I mean, that's the whole thing, that this gun can work well with anybody. But if I were to really use this gun, I really just keep it to casters like adepts and sentinels and vanguards like that, because it's just really light, and it does decent enough damage that in between your casts, in between your powers, you can do a little bit of damage. Now, you'll probably notice that on the equipment screen, I actually picked the gear bonus at the barrage upgrade to give some stability, and it still kicks a little bit. That's another drawback of this gun, guys. this gun kind of kicks like a mule, or it really does, depending on the character you're using it. That's why I said the Human Sentinel is probably one of the better casters slash, he's a Sentinel, so you can't even really call him a caster exactly, kind of like my character. But the Human Sentinel is probably one of the best characters to use this on, in the sense that you have the Turian passives for stability bonuses, and at the same time you have warp and overload, so you can do fire explosions and debuff enemies, and especially with warp, it will allow your gun to do a little bit more damage. The enemy will take more damage, and especially if you're using warp rounds with it, forget the fire explosions, you get that biotic damage bonus. You do great. So that's pretty much where I am at with this gun. I'm mostly using it in casted classes. On a guy like this, like the Human Sentinel, who's a very powerful character, you'll notice here on this gameplay, one of the things that I do, and I'll tell you a little bit about this as well, you probably noticed in the gameplay, but if you see that there's a mob of enemies, right, and this is just a little tip, see a mob of enemies, like for example Cerberus, and you see that there's an Atlas right in the center, go for the Atlas. You see this in this gameplay, it's just a little tip. Go for the Atlas, because in the sense of doing biotic explosions, because it has a radius. So you see that here, you'll see like about 2 Atlases, or maybe one Atlas and 2 Phantoms and Troopers all surrounding the Atlas. I'm going for the Atlas, and the biotic explosions are killing the Dragoons, are killing the Phantoms, and doing so much damage. While I'm focused on the Atlas, taking down its armor, stripping down its shields, using the Lancer right on it. And it works quite well, and as you can see throughout this entire gameplay, with the biotic explosions, you do a lot of damage. Now, the thing about the Lancer, the reason I also talked about the kick that it has is because, I recently, in the past, I had not been showing a lot of headshot gameplay, but pretty much I'm trying to make sure that I allow most of the games. I'm trying to get the 20 headshot bonuses. It doesn't matter what gun. So if you're trying to do that with a gun like the Lancer, well, there are certain, it has a kick. It kicks like a mule, so you have to have some kind of stability on sometimes, not all the time. I haven't always used it with stability. This is actually one of the first times that I use it with stability, because most of the time I'm using it with the Turian. So the Human Sentinel can handle it, but caster classes might have a little difficulty with the stability on it. You're using a Durell Adapt, and you're depending on your biotic explosions, your cluster grenades, and you're doing all that and more. And then all of a sudden you want to shoot, and then this gun is kicking. You gotta really know that it is gonna kick. So you are gonna kind of want to do some hip firing at some points, but you're gonna want to go between hip firing and actually zooming in. I actually zoom in when I'm going for the headshot, because I want to make sure that I'm really getting it. But there are moments that I may just hip fire at points because it's just kicking too much. So you're gonna have to determine. You're really gonna have to determine more or less when you're gonna hip fire or use a zoom in for the accuracy bonuses. I pretty much zoom in for most of the time that I'm shooting in this gun. But the whole thing about that is that you really have to pay attention to the clip. You really do, guys, because if not, you're really gonna be overheating left and right. I mean, you really are. So when it comes to when it comes to this kind of gun, what I've noticed is that it really works well like that with the caster crew. Another character that I've actually had fun using it on was the Human Adept. But the whole thing about the Human Adept is that you kind of work out the Human Adept to have almost 200% power recharge speed, and the kind of weapons that you have to, you could only have with the guy to kind of have that kind of recharge speed is weapons that have ultralight materials on, or weapons that are really light. So I really enjoyed it with the Human Adept, and it worked quite well. Now, what about the mods on this gun? Okay, so you guys probably noticed the mods on this gun. I'm actually going with only 2 kinds of mods on this gun. The only thing that I really use is 3 different mods. Okay, and let me go into detail. You actually always want the assault rifle magazine upgrade. You really always want it. You have to have it. It increases the rounds per magazine by 80%. You really have to have it, because if you don't have this, then you only have about 40 shots, 40 rounds, and give or take, depending on the character. And when you add the assault rifle magazine upgrade, which I have here, you see I have over 100 rounds, just a little over, and that's very helpful, especially when you're working in Atlas like this in this situation. So you always want the assault rifle magazine upgrade because it's just 40 rounds is decent, but probably on the lower difficulties. But especially if you're in gold or in platinum, you want more rounds on your gun because the enemies just have a lot more that you will need to take down. The other one, the other mod that I use on this gun is the assault rifle piercing mod. And I'll tell you why I use it. This is the one that I use the most on this gun, especially since I'm using it on casters, because it's light. It doesn't add it really doesn't add any weight on the gun, and you still do it allows your bullets to pierce 1.10 meter thick objects, so you can't shoot through light cover, you can't shoot through guardian shields. It allows you to ignore 65% of the defenses of armor targets. So that's a good thing. Now, if I'm using it on characters that are not casters, or characters that, the power recharge is not too bad, like for example, the Human Sentinel, again, I keep on going back to him, or if I'm using it on a soldier, like the N7 Destroyer. If I'm using it on the N7 Destroyer, then I'm actually going for the assault rifle high velocity barrel, which is the heavy one. And that's actually a little bit of a better it's a better mod because it allows you to ignore 90% of an armor target's defenses. So that's a good. It really lets you kind of deal with armor, especially like on platinum. You have a lot of armor, and for enemies like Atlases and also primes, you have a ton of armor. And you're gonna wanna be able to take down that armor and just and show them who's boss. So those are the only 3 mods that I go with, guys. I really don't use anything else on the gun. Now, if you're a little bit of a sniper, I mean, maybe you want to do something fun or interesting, then I would go back to going with the assault rifle piercing mod, or just the assault rifle magazine upgrade, and maybe the scope. You can do something like that as well. That's actually a lot of fun if you have your stasis sniper or something like that, and you want to stasis and use this gun as a sniper, so you could zoom in. I mean, that would be fun, but I really don't. It's not the biggest recommendation to me, only because the scope that I've noticed on Mass Effect 3 for the assault rifles is not that great. I really don't like it. Your movement speed kind of changes a little bit, and it's a little cumbersome. I really don't like the scopes on it, and I mean, it's just my opinion. But you can actually go with that. If you want anything else, I really don't see anything else really working for this gun. I mean, you can use the assault rifle stability dampener, but then you'd have to remove the assault rifle magazine upgrade to put something like the piercing mod, so you could actually pierce armor. So that's pretty much the way I go, guys, because I mean, it's the way I go with this gun. Now, something like the assault rifle extended barrel will be good as well, but again, guys, don't forget to put the assault rifle magazine upgrade. If you're using armor piercing rounds, then that would be the way to go. So let's say I'm just using armor piercing rounds to pierce armor, then I'll put the assault rifle extended barrel and the magazine upgrade. So like that, I have enough rounds and I get increased damage bonus, which is actually pretty decent. Now, the ammo types, and I spoke about this a little bit in the beginning. Some of the best ammo types for this gun are incendiary rounds. It's just incendiary rounds the way to go, because most likely you'll probably be using this on a caster, so you're going to want to do fire explosions, etc. If you're using an engineer that you're using incinerate and cryo blast, stuff like that, then you're definitely going to want to use incendiary rounds or even disruptor rounds to do some kind of tech burst. And look at this, guys. Look at this. Pug game. Look at this. Look how long I'm here. I'm just hanging out. There's my team. Everybody's there. So, anyways, I don't know what was going on there. I guess maybe they were all trying to kill the enemy or destroy the turret before they pick me up. I don't know. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. But anyways, it's things like that. It's just funny. So, yeah, guys, if you're using an engineer or anything like that, the kind of ammo types that you're going to want to go for on caster classes are normally incendiary or disruptor rounds. You don't want to use this disruptor rounds if you are an adept. Like for example, my character, he's a sentinel, but he has biotic powers. So I would use disruptor rounds because it's gonna kind of mess up my flow with the biotic explosions. But with engineers, you could do tech bursts and all that. It will be great to use that kind of rounds on this guy. If you're using a soldier or any other character like that, even warp rounds would be great because you increase the damage. But that's about it, guys. I really, I actually enjoyed this gun. I think it's decent. It's not the greatest gun. I won't lie to you guys. It's not like this is the great gun and the best gun in the world. But it is actually really decent for casters, and I appreciate this gun coming in, just like I appreciated the Acolyte coming in when it came. And I like having this in my arsenal because I actually do use this gun quite a bit, and I will pretty much I will be using it a lot. I use it a lot on casters. So it's not a gun that just collects dust in my arsenal, kind of like well, actually there's a few guns that collect dust in my arsenal. But this is one of those that I keep with me. I constantly use it. I'm gonna continue using it, and it really works. Now, the good thing about it is that it does have accuracy, so it's even though it kicks like a mule, you can still zoom in and you have a really good crosshair. So if you're focusing on headshots, which I had been in this game, not a total lot because you're doing biotic explosions, you're not gonna get a headshot bonus, but with the when you are still going for headshots, you can still get it. It's accurate enough that you'll be fine working on it. If you're using this on a Turian soldier or somebody that has stability, you'll do quite well. Now, on the other guns, guys, that I will be reviewing, please put on the comment box what other gun you want to see next. I do have a few recommendations from you guys in the previous video, so I am going to work those and work them throughout the week. Also, I have a fan day coming up, so I'm going to be playing Mass Effect 3 with you guys, and very soon I'm going to be posting the other games that I've been playing, guys, so I'm sorry about that. Just letting you guys know, I don't do this for a living, so that's the whole thing. That's why it takes a little bit long sometimes. Sometimes there are disruptions between videos, whether it's my job or something else, but I do my best to get online and provide you guys with some cool content. I do take it seriously. I do want to make sure that I'm providing you guys really good content and working that out and having fun at the same time. I really do enjoy gaming with you guys, so I've actually gained quite a bit this week with a lot of the subs, a lot of you guys. So I've gotten the question before, do you game with subs? I game with subs all the time. A lot of the people who have been in my videos, a lot of the people that I've played, gamed with, there've been people who have come to the channel or people that I've met through the BioWare social network, but mostly through the channel. That's usually where a lot of the gamers that I game with, or people who are on the groups that I'm a part of, like the Spectre group or the N7 Spec Ops group. So so I will be doing a day where we will be gaming together, and it'll be a lot of fun, and then maybe you could do something like this and on extraction shoot a lot of missiles. I noticed this towards the end. I don't know, somebody was just nuking left and right. I was a little surprising, but I think it's somebody had armor compartments, but it happens. Total extraction, you want to level up. They're trying to get as much XP as possible and level up their characters, but there was no communication. I probably would have used all my nukes if I would have realized that at this point in time. But anyways, guys, I will be playing a lot more with the subs. I will be doing a day where I will be gaming with you guys, and games that you guys want me to do with the subs and you guys want to see online, that would be great. Now, I'm going to see if I could live stream it as well, so it will be, I do have the capabilities to live stream. I've live streamed in the past, and I want to see what kind of feedback I get. So if you guys want to see a live stream, let me know. I will have it on Twitch and another network that I use, and we'll have a fun good time, kind of live streaming that gameplay and doing some cool stuff, guys. So let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. And also, by the way, guys, put in the comments what other games you guys would like to see as well. I am finishing State of Decay, and I'm also thinking of starting The Last of Us. A lot of you guys have recommended that as well, so I'm finishing that gameplay. Also, the Army of Two, that we have actually completed that. We're presently working on the editing, so I'm sorry about the cut on that, and Mass Effect 3 as well. You guys will be seeing the rest of that. So it's been really fun communicating with you guys, and thank you guys for all of your comments on the different guides that I've posted lately. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. And please comment, rate, and subscribe. It definitely helps me out. And video one out. Take care, guys.